2, 1993 through 1995, late 20s. We spent as much money as we could and got as little for it as people could make up their minds to give us. We were always more or less miserable, and most of our acquaintance were in the same condition. There was a gay fiction among us that we were constantly enjoying ourselves, and a skeleton truth that we never did. To the best of my belief, our case was in the last aspect a rather common one. Charles Dickens, Great Expectations. Chapter 6, Chemical. Thursday, 15th, July 1993, Part 1, Dexter's Story. Brixton, Earl's Court, and Oxfordshire. These days, the nights and mornings have a tendency to bleed into one another. Old-fashioned notions of AM and PM have become obsolete, and Dexter is seeing a lot more dawns than he once used to. On the 15th of July, 1993, the sun rises at 05:01 a.m. Dexter watches it from the back of a decrepit minicab as he returns home from a stranger's flat in Brixton. Not a stranger exactly, but a brand new friend. One of many he is making these days, this time a graphic designer called Gibbs or Gibbsy, or was it maybe Bigsy, and his friend, this mad girl called Tara, a tiny bird-like thing with woozy, heavy eyelids and a wide scarlet mouth who doesn't talk much, preferring to communicate through the medium of massage. It's Tara he meets first, just after 2 a.m., in the nightclub underneath the railway arches. All night he has noticed her on the dance floor, a broad grin on her pretty pixie face as she appears suddenly behind strangers and starts to rub their shoulders or the small of their backs. Finally, it's Dexter's turn, and he nods and smiles and waits for the slow dawn of recognition. Sure enough, the girl frowns, brings her fingers close to the tip of his nose, and says what they all say now, which is, "You're famous!" "Who are you, then?" he shouts over the music, taking both her small bony hands in his, holding them out to the side as if this were some great reunion. "I'm Tara." "Tara! Tara! Hello, Tara!" "You're famous? Why are you famous? Tell me." "I'm on TV. I'm on a TV program called Large in It. I interview pop stars." "I knew it! You are famous!" she shouts, delighted, and she cranes up on tiptoe and kisses his cheek. And she does this so nicely that he's moved to shout over the music, "You're lovely, Tara." "I am lovely," she shouts back. "I am lovely, but I'm not famous." "But you should be famous," shouts Dexter, his hands on her waist. "I think everybody should be famous." The remark is without thought or meaning, but the sentiment seems to move Tara because she says, "Ah," stands on tiptoe and rests her little elfin head on his shoulder. "I think you're so lovely," she shouts in his ear, and he doesn't disagree. "You're lovely too," he says, and they find themselves caught in a "you're lovely" loop that could potentially go on forever. They're dancing together now, sucking in their cheeks and grinning at each other, and once again Dexter is struck by how easy conversation can be when no one is in their right mind. In the olden days, when people only had alcohol to fall back on, talking to a girl would involve all kinds of eye contact, the buying of drinks, hours of formal questioning about books and films, parents and siblings. But these days it's possible to seg almost immediately from "what's your name" to "show me your tattoo," say, or "what underwear are you wearing?" And surely this has got to be progress. "You're lovely," he shouts, as she grinds her buttocks against his thighs. "You're really tiny, like a bird." "But I'm strong as an ox," she shouts back over her shoulder, and flexes a neat bicep the size of a tangerine. It's such a great little bicep that he moved to kiss it. "You're nice. You're so nice." "You're nice too," he fires back, and thinks, God, this is really going just incredibly well, this back and forth. Just so well. She's so small and neat that she reminds him of a little wren, but he can't summon up the word wren, so he takes hold of her hands, pulls her towards him, shouts in her ear, "What's the name of that tiny bird that fits in a matchbox?" "What?" "A bird that you put in a matchbox. You can fit it in a matchbox. A tiny bird. You're like a little bird. Can't think of its name." He holds his finger and thumb an inch apart. "Small bird, tiny, you're like that." And she nods, either in agreement or to the music, her heavy eyelids fluttering now, pupils dilated, her eyeballs rolling back in her head like one of those dolls his sister used to have, and Dexter has forgotten what he's talking about, is unable for a moment to make sense of anything, so that when Tara takes his hands and squeezes them, and tells him once again that he is really lovely, and that he must come and meet her friends because they're lovely too, he doesn't disagree. He looks around for Callum O'Neill, his old flatmate from university, and sees him pulling on his coat. Once the laziest man in Edinburgh, Callum is a successful businessman now, a large man in expensive suits, made wealthy by refurbished computers. But with the success has come sobriety. No drugs, not too much booze on a weeknight. He looks uncomfortable here. Square. Dexter crosses to him and grabs both hands. Where are you going, mate? Home. It's 2 in the morning. I've got work to do. Come with me. I want you to meet Tara. Dex, I don't want to meet Tara. I've got to go. You know what you are? You're a lightweight. You are off your face. Go on, do what you've got to do. I'll call tomorrow. Dexter hugs Callum and tells him how great he is. But Tara is tugging on his hand once again, and so he turns and allows himself to be led through the crowd towards one of the chill-out rooms. The club is expensive and supposedly upmarket, though Dexter rarely pays for anything these days. It's also a little quiet for a Thursday night, but at least there's none of that scary techno marching music here, or those scary kids. The bony, shaven-headed ones who take their shirts off and leer in your face with their teeth bared, their jaws clenched. Instead, there are mainly lots of pleasant, attractive, middle-class people in their 20s, people he belongs with, like Tara's friends here, lolling around on big cushions, smoking and talking and chewing. He meets Gibbsy, or was it Bigsy, the lovely Tash, and her boyfriend Stu Stewpot, and Specs, who wears spectacles, and his boyfriend Mark, who disappointingly seems to be just called Mark, and they all offer him their gum and water and Marlboro Lights. People make a big deal about friendship, but it really does seem incredibly easy here. And soon he is imagining everyone hanging out together, going on holiday in a camper van, having barbecues on the beach as the sun goes down, and they seem to like him too, asking him what it's like being on TV, asking him what other famous people he's met, and he tells them some salacious gossip, and all the while Tara perches behind him, working on his neck and shoulders with her tiny bone fingers, giving him little shudders of elation until suddenly, for some reason, there's a pause in conversation, perhaps 5 seconds of silence, but just long enough for a flash of sobriety to take him by surprise, and he remembers what he has to do tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, today. Oh God, later today. And he feels the night's first shiver of panic and dread. But it's okay, it's fine, because Tara is saying let's go and dance before it wears off, so they all go and stand in the railway arches in a loose group facing the DJ and the lights, and they dance for a while in the dry ice, grinning and nodding and exchanging that strange puckered frown, eyebrows knitted. But the nodding and grinning are less from elation now, more from a need for reassurance that they're still having fun, that it isn't all about to end. Dexter wonders if he should take his shirt off. That sometimes helps, but the moment has passed. Someone nearby shouts, "Tune," half-heartedly, but no one's convinced. There are no tunes. The enemy self-consciousness is creeping up on them, and Gibbsy or Big Z is the first to crack, declaring that the music is shit, and everyone stops dancing immediately, as if a spell has been broken. As he heads for the exit, Dexter imagines the journey home, the menacing crowd of illicit cabbies who will be outside the club, the irrational fear of being murdered. That's not irrational. The irrational fear of being murdered, the empty flat in Belsize Park, and hours of sleeplessness as he does the washing up and rearranges his vinyl until the thumping in his head stops and he's able to sleep and face the day. And once again he feels a wave of panic. He needs company. He looks around for a payphone. He could see if Callum's still awake, but mail company is no good to him now. He could call Naomi, but she'll be with her boyfriend. Or Yolanda, but she's filming in Barcelona. Or Scary Ingrid, but she has said that if she sees him again, she'll rip his heart out. Or Emma. Yes, Emma. No, not Emma. Not in this state. She doesn't get it. Won't approve. And yet, it's Emma that he wants to see the most. Why isn't she with him tonight? He has all these things he wants to ask her, like why have they never got together? They'd be great together. A team. A pair. Dex and M and Dex. Everybody says so. He's taken aback by the sudden rush of love he feels for Emma, and he decides to get in a cab to Earl's Court and tell her how great she is, how he really, really loves her, and how sexy she is, if only she knew it, and why not just do it, just to see what happens. And if none of that works, even if they just sit up and talk, at least it will be better than being alone tonight. Whatever happens, he mustn't be alone. The phone is in his hand when, thank God, Big Z, or is it Gibbsy, suggests they all go back to his place. It isn't far. And so they head out of the club, safe in a crowd as they walk back to Cold Harbor Lane. The flat is a large space on top of an old pub. Kitchen and living room, bedroom and bathroom are all laid out without walls, the one concession to privacy being the semi-transparent shower curtain that encircles the freestanding toilet. While Big C sorts out his decks, everyone else goes and lolls in a great tangled pile on the huge four-poster bed, which is covered in ironic acrylic tiger skins and black synthetic sheets. Above the bed is a semi-ironic mirror, and they stare up at it through heavy eyelids, admiring themselves as they sprawl beneath, heads resting in laps, hands searching around for other hands, listening to the music, young and smart, attractive and successful, in the know and not in their right minds, all of them thinking how great they look and what good friends they're going to be from now on. There will be picnics on the heath, and long, lazy Sundays in the pub, and Dexter is enjoying himself once more. I think you're amazing, someone says to someone else, but it doesn't matter who, because they're all amazing, really. People are amazing. Hours slip by, no one noticing. Someone is talking about sex now, and they compete to make personal revelations that they'll regret in the morning. People are kissing, and Tara is still fiddling with his neck, probing the top of his spine with her hard little fingers. But all the drugs have gone now, and what was once a relaxing massage is now a series of jabs and pokes. And when he peers up at Tara's pixie face, it suddenly seems pinched and menacing. The mouth too wide, the eyes too round, like some sort of small hairless mammal. He also notices that she's older than he thought. My God, she must be like 38. And that there is some sort of white paste between her little teeth, like grouting. And Dexter can no longer control his terror of the day, a head from crawling up his spinal column, dread, fear, and shame manifesting itself as a sticky chemical sweat. He sits suddenly, shivers and drags both hands slowly down his face as if physically wiping something away. It is starting to get light, blackbirds are singing on Cold Harbor Lane, and he has the sensation, so vivid that it is almost a hallucination, that he is entirely hollow, empty like an Easter egg. Tara, the masseuse, has created a great twisted knot of tension between his shoulders. The music has stopped, and someone on the bed is asking for tea, and everyone wants tea, tea, tea. So Dexter disentangles himself and crosses to the immense fridge, the same model as his own, sinister and industrial like something you'd find in a genetics lab. He opens the door and stares blankly inside. A salad is rotting in its bag, the plastic swollen and about to burst. His eyes flicker in their sockets, making his vision judder one last time. And coming back into focus, he sees a bottle of vodka. Hiding behind the fridge door, he drinks a good 2 inches, washing it down with a sour gulp of apple juice that fizzes repulsively on his tongue. He winces, swallows the liquid down, taking his chewing gum with it. Someone calls for tea again. He finds the milk carton, weighs it in his hand, has an idea. "There's no milk," he shouts. "Should be," shouts Gibbsy or Bigsy. "Nope, empty. I'll go and get some." He puts the full, unopened carton back in the fridge. "Back in 5 minutes. Anyone want anything? Ciggies? Gum?" There's no reply from his new friend, so he quietly lets himself out, then tumbles down the stairs and out onto the street, barreling through the door as if coming up for air, then breaking into a run, never to see any of these amazing people ever again. On Electric Avenue, he finds a mini-cab office. On the 15th of July, 1993, the sun rises at 5:01 a.m., and already Dexter Mayhew is in hell. Emma Morley eats well and drinks in moderation. These days, she gets 8 good hours sleep, then wakes promptly of her own accord at just before 6:30 and drinks a large glass of water. The first 250 milliliters of a daily 1.5 liters, which she pours from the brand new carafe and matching glass that stand in a shaft of fresh morning sunlight next to her warm, clean double bed. A carafe. Carafe? She owns a carafe. She can hardly believe it's true. She owns furniture, too. At 27, she is too old to live like a student anymore, and she now owns a bed, a large wrought iron and wickerwork affair bought in the summer sales from a colonial-themed store on the Tottenham Court Road. Branded the Tahiti, it It occupies the whole bedroom of her flat off the Earl's Court Road. The duvet is goose down, the sheets are Egyptian cotton, which is, the saleswoman informed her, the very best cotton known to man, and all of this signifies a new era of order, independence, and maturity. On Sunday mornings, she lounges alone on the Tahiti as if it were a raft, and listens to Porgy and Bees and Bess and Maisie's Star, Old Tom Waits, and a quaintly crackling vinyl album of Bach's cello suites. She drinks pints of coffee and writes little observations and ideas for stories with her best fountain pen on the linen white pages of expensive notebooks. Sometimes when it's going badly, she wonders if what she believes to be a love of the written word is really just a fetish for stationery. The true writer, the born writer, will scribble words on scraps of litter, the back of a bus ticket, on the wall of a cell. Emma is lost on anything less than 120 GSM. But at other times she finds herself writing happily for hours, as if the words had been there all along, content and alone in her one-bedroom flat. Not that she's lonely, or at least not very often. She goes out 4 nights a week, and could go out more often if she wanted to. Old friendships are holding up, and there are new ones too, with her fellow students from the teacher training college. At the weekend, she makes full use of the listing magazines, everything except the clubbing section, which might as well be written in runic script for all its talk of shirts off, up for crowds. She suspects that she will never ever dance in her bra in a room full of foam, and that's fine. Instead, she visits independent cinemas and galleries with friends, or sometimes they hire cottages, go for hearty walks in the country, and pretend they live there. People tell her she looks better, more confident. She has thrown away the velour scrunchies, the cigarettes, the takeaway menus. She owns a cafetiere, and for the first time in her life, she is considering investing in some potpourri. The clock radio clicks on, but she allows herself to lie in bed and listen to the news headlines. John Smith is in conflict with the unions, and she feels torn because she likes John Smith, who seems the right sort, headmasterly and wise. Even his name suggests solid man of the people principles, and she reminds herself once again to look into the possibility of joining the Labor Party. Perhaps it will ease her conscience now that her CND membership has lapsed. Not that she doesn't sympathize with their aims, but demanding multilateral disarmament has started to seem a bit naive, a bit like demanding universal kindness. At 27, Emma wonders if she's getting old. She used to pride herself on her refusal to see two sides of an argument, but increasingly she accepts that issues are more ambiguous and complicated than she once thought. Certainly she doesn't understand the next two new items, which concern the Maastricht Treaty and the war in Yugoslavia. Shouldn't she have an opinion, take a side, boycott something? At least with apartheid, you knew where you stood. Now there's a war in Europe, and she has personally done absolutely nothing to stop it. Too busy stopping for furniture. Unsettled, she throws off her new duvet and slides into the tiny corridor of space between the side of the bed and the walls, shuffling sideways to the hall and into the tiny bathroom, which she never has to wait for because she lives alone. She drops her t-shirt into the wicker laundry basket, a great deal of wicker in her life since that fateful summer sale on Tottenham Court Road, puts on her old spectacles, and stands naked in front of the mirror, her shoulders pushed back. Could be worse, she thinks, and steps into the shower. She eats breakfast looking out of the window. The flat is six floors up in a red brick mansion block, and the view is of an identical red brick mansion block. She doesn't care for Earl's Court particularly, shabby and temporary. It's like living in London's spare room. The rent on a single flat is insane, too, and she may have to get somewhere cheaper when she gets her first teaching job, but for the moment she loves it here, a long way from Loco Caliente and the gritty social realism of the box room in Clapton. Free of Tilly Killick after 6 years together, she loves knowing that there'll be no underwear lurking grayly in the kitchen sink, no teeth marks in the cheddar. Because she is no longer ashamed of how she lives, she has even allowed her parents to visit her, Jim and Sue occupying the Tahiti while Emma slept on the sofa. For 3 fraught days, they commented endlessly on London's ethnic mix and the cost of a cup of tea, and although they didn't actually express their approval of her new lifestyle, at least her mother no longer suggests that she come back to Leeds to work for the gas board. "Well done, Emmy," her father had whispered as she saw them onto the train at King's Cross. But well done for what? For finally living like a grown-up, perhaps. Of course, there's still no boyfriend, but she doesn't mind. Occasionally, very occasionally, say at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a wet Sunday, she feels panic-stricken and almost breathless with loneliness. Once or twice she has been known to pick up the phone to check that it isn't broken. Sometimes she thinks how nice it would be to be woken by a call in the night. "Get in a taxi now," or "I need to see you, we need to talk." But at the best of times, she feels like a character in Muriel's Spark novel. Independent, bookish, sharp-minded, secretly romantic. At 27 years old, Emma Morley has a double first in English and history, a new bed, a 2-roomed flat in Earl's Court, a great many friends, and a postgraduate certificate in education. If the interview goes well today, she will have a job teaching English and drama, subjects that she knows and loves. She's on the brink of a new career as an inspiring teacher, and finally there's some order in her life. There's also a date. Emma has a proper formal date. She's going to sit in a restaurant with a man and watch him eat and talk. Someone wants to climb aboard the Tahiti, and tonight she will decide if she's going to let him. She stands at the toaster slicing a banana, the first of 7 portions of fruit and veg today, and stares at the calendar. The 15th of July, 1993, a question mark and exclamation mark. The date looms. Dexter's bed is imported, Italian, a low, bare, black platform that stands in the center of the large bare room like a stage, or a wrestling ring, both of which functions it sometimes serves. He lies there awake at 9:30, dread and self-loathing combined with sexual frustration. His nerve endings have been turned up high, and there is an unpleasant taste in his mouth, as if his tongue has been coated with hairspray. Suddenly he leaps up and pads across high-gloss black floorboards to the Swedish kitchen. There, in the freezer compartment of his large industrial fridge, he finds a bottle of vodka, and he pours an inch into his glass, then adds the same amount of orange juice. He reassures himself with the thought that, as he hasn't been to sleep yet, this is not the first drink of the day, but the last drink of last night. Besides, the whole taboo about drinking during daytime is exaggerated. They do it in Europe. The trick is to use the uplift of the booze to counteract the downward tumble of the drugs. He is getting drunk to stay sober, which, when you think about it, is actually pretty sensible. Encouraged by this logic, he pours another inch and a half of vodka, puts on Reservoir Dogs, the soundtrack, and swaggers to the shower. Half an hour later, he is still in the bathroom, wondering what he can do to stop the sweating. He has changed his shirt twice, showered in cold water, but still the perspiration comes bubbling up on his back and forehead, oily and vicious like vodka, which perhaps is what it is. He looks at his watch. Late already. He decides that he'll try driving with the windows down. There's a brick-sized parcel by the door so that he won't forget it, elaborately wrapped in layers of different colored tissue paper, and he picks this up, locks the flat, and steps out into the leafy avenue where his car waits for him, a Mazda MR2 convertible in racing green. No room for passengers, no possibility of a roof rack, barely room for a spare tire, let alone a pram. It's a car that screams of youth, success, bachelorhood. Concealed in the boot is a CD changer, a futuristic miracle of tiny springs and matte black plastic, and he chooses 5 CDs. Freebies from the record companies, another perk of the job, and slides the shiny discs into the box as if loading a revolver with bullets. He listens to the Cranberries. He listens to the Cranberries as he negotiates the wide residential streets of St. John's Wood. It's not really his thing, but it's important to stay on top of stuff when you're forging people's tastes in music. The Westway has cleared of rush hour traffic, and before the album ends, he is on the M40, heading westward through the light industrial estates and housing developments of the city, in which he lives so successfully, so fashionably. Before long, the suburbs have given way to the conifer plantations that pass as countryside. He's feeling much better, much better, raffish and Boise in his sporty little car, and only a little queasy now. He turns up the volume. He has met the band's lead singer, has interviewed him several times, and though he wouldn't go so far as to call him a friend, he knows the guy who plays the congas pretty well and feels a little personal connection as they sing about the emergency on planet Earth. It's the extended mix, massively extended, and time and space take on an elastic quality as Dexter scats along for what seems like many hours until his vision blurs and judders one last time, the remnants of last night's drugs in his veins, and there's a blare of horn as he realizes that he is driving at 112 miles an hour in the exact center of 2 lanes. He stops scatting and tries to steer the car back into the middle lane, but finds that he has forgotten how to steer, and his arms locked at the elbows as he tries to physically wrench the wheel from some invisible grasp. Suddenly, Dexter's speed is dropped to 58 miles an hour, his feet on the brake and the accelerator simultaneously, and there's another blast of horn from a lorry the size of a house that has appeared behind him. He can see the contorted face of the driver in the rearview mirror, a big bearded man in black mirror shades screaming at him, his face 3 black holes like a skull. Dexter wrenches the wheel once more without even checking what is in the slow lane, and he is suddenly sure that he is going to die right here and now, in a ball of searing flame while listening to an extended Jamiroquai remix. But the slow lane is empty, thank God, and he breathes sharply through his mouth, once, twice, 3 times, like a boxer. He jabs the music off and drives in silence at a steady 68 until he reaches his exit. Exhausted, he finds a lay-by on the Oxford Road, reclines his seat, and closes his eyes in the hope of sleep, but can only see the 3 black holes of the lorry driver screaming at him. Outside, the sun is too bright, the traffic too noisy, and besides, there's something shabby and unwholesome about this anxious young man wiggling in a stationary car at 11:45 on a summer's morning. So he sits up straight, swears, and drives on until he finds a roadside pub that he knows from his teenage years. The White Swan is a chain affair, offering all-day breakfast and impossibly cheap steak and chips. He pulls in, picks up the gift-wrapped parcel from the passenger seat, and enters the large, familiar room that smells of furniture polish and last night's cigarettes. Dexter leans moutily on the bar and orders a half of... Is it lager? Or lager? I still don't know, and I'm 26, almost 7. Anyway, I hate it when they use that. Orders half of lager and a double vodka tonic. He remembers the barman from the early 80s when he used to drink here with mates. I used to come here years ago, says Dexter chattily. Is that right? Replies the gaunt, unhappy man. If the barman recognizes him, he doesn't say, and Dexter takes a glass in each hand, walks to a table, and drinks in silence with the gift-wrapped package in front of him, a little parcel of gaiety in the grim room. He looks around and thinks about how far he's come in the last 10 years and all that he's achieved, a well-known TV presenter and not yet 29 years old. Sometimes he thinks the medicinal powers of alcohol border on the miraculous because within 10 minutes he is trotting nimbly out to the car and listening to music again. The beloved chirruping away, making good time so that within 10 minutes he is turning into the gravel drive of his parents' house, a large secluded 1920s construction, its front crisscrossed with fake timber framing to make it look less modern, boxy and sturdy than it really is. A comfortable, happy family home in the Chilterns. Dexter regards it with dread. His father is already standing in the doorway, as if he's been there for years. He's wearing too many clothes for July. A shirt tail is hanging down beneath his sweater. A mug of tea is in his hand. Once a giant to Dexter, he now looks stooped and tired, his long face pale, drawn and lined from the 6 months in which his wife's condition has deteriorated. He raises his mug in greeting, and for a moment Dexter sees himself through his father's eyes, and winces with shame at his shiny shirt, the jaunty way he drives his sporty little car, the raffish noise it makes as it swoops to a halt on the gravel, the chill-out music on the stereo. Chilled out, idiot. Loved up, buffoon. Sordid, you tawdry little clown. He jabs off the CD player, unclips the removable fascia from the dashboard, then stares at it in his hand. Calm down, this is the Chilterns, not Stockwell. Your father's not going to steal your stereo. Just calm down. In the doorway, his father raises his mug once again, and Dexter sighs, picks up the present from the passenger seat, summons up all his powers of concentration, and steps out of the car. What a ridiculous machine, tuts his father. Well, you don't have to drive it, do you? Dexter takes comfort from the ease of the old routine, his father stern and square, the son irresponsible and cocky. Don't think I'd fit in it anyway. Toys for boys. We were expecting you some time ago. How are you, old man? Says Dexter, feeling a sudden swell of affection for his dear old dad, and instinctively he loops his arms around his father's back, rubs it, and then excruciatingly kisses his father's cheek. They freeze. Somehow Dexter has developed a kiss reflex. He has made the mwah noise in his father's tufted ear. Some unconscious part of him thinks that he is back under the railway arches with Gibbsy and Tara and Specs. He can feel the saliva, wet on his lip, and he can see the consternation on his father's face as he looks down at his son, an Old Testament look. Sons kissing fathers, a law of nature has been broken. Not yet through the front door, and already the illusion of sobriety is shattered. His father sniffs, either with distaste or because he is sniffing his son's breath, and Dexter is not sure which is worse. Your mother is in the garden. She's been waiting for you all morning. How is she? He asks. Perhaps he'll say much better. Go and see. I'll put the kettle on. The hallway is dark and cool after the sun's glare. His older sister Cassie is entering the back garden, a tray in her hands, her face aglow with competence, common sense, and piety. At 34, she has settled into the role of stern hospital matron, and the part suits her. Half smile, half scowl, she touches her cheek against his. The prodigal returns. Dexter's mind is not so addled that he can't recognize a dig, but he ignores the remark and glances at the tray. A bowl of gray-brown cereal dissolved in milk, the spoon by its side unused. How is she? He asks. Perhaps she'll say much improved. Go and find out, says Cassie, and he squeezes past and wonders, why will no one tell me how she is? From the doorway he watches her. She's sitting in an old-fashioned wing-backed chair that has been carried out to face the view across the fields and woods. Oxford, a gray, hazy smudge in the distance. From this angle her face is obscured by a large sun hat and sunglasses. The light hurts her eyes these days, but he can tell by the slender arms and the way her hand lolls on the padded arm of the chair that she has changed a great deal in the 3 weeks since he last came to see her. He has a sudden urge to cry. He wants to curl up like a child and feel her put her arms around him, and he also wants to run from here as fast as he can, but neither are possible, so instead he trots down the steps, an artificially buoyant jog, a chat show host. Hello there! She smiles as if smiling itself has become an effort. He stoops beneath the brim of her hat to kiss her, the skin of her cheek disconcertingly cool, taut and shiny. A headscarf is tied beneath her hat to disguise her hair loss, but he tries not to scrutinize her face too closely as he quickly reaches for a rusting metal garden chair. Noisily he pulls it close and arranges it outwards so that they are both facing the view, but he can feel her eyes on him. You're sweating, she says. Well, it's a hot day. She looks unconvinced. Not good enough. Concentrate. Remember who you're talking to. You're soaked through. It's the shirt. Artificial fiber. She reaches across and touches his shirt with the back of her hand. Her nose wrinkles with distaste. Where from? Prada. Expensive. Only the best. Then, keen to change the subject, he retrieves the parcel from the rockery wall. Present for you. How lovely. Not from me. From Emma. I can tell from the wrapping. Carefully, she undoes the ribbon. Yours come in taped-up bin bags. That's not true. He smiles, keeping things lighthearted. When they come at all. He's finding it harder to maintain this smile, but thankfully her eyes are on the parcel as she carefully folds the paperback, revealing a pile of paperback books. Edith Wharton, some Raymond Chandler, F. Scott Fitzgerald. How kind of her. Will you thank her for me? Lovely Emma Morley. She looks at the cover of the Fitzgerald, The Beautiful and Damned. It's me and you. But which is which, he says without thinking, but thankfully she doesn't seem to have heard. Instead, she's reading the back of the postcard, a black and white agitprop collage from '82. Thatcher out, she laughs, such a kind girl, so funny. She takes the novel and measures its thickness between finger and thumb. A little optimistic, maybe. You might want to push her towards short stories in future. Dexter smiles and sniffs obediently, but he hates this type of thing. Gallows humor. It's meant to show pluck, to lift the spirits, but he finds it boring and stupid. He would prefer the unsayable to be left unsaid. How is Emma, anyway? Very good, I think. She's a fully qualified teacher now. Job interview today. Now there's a profession. She turns her head to look at him. Weren't you going to be a teacher once? What happened there? He recognizes the dig. Didn't suit me. No, is all she says. There is a silence, and he feels the day slip from his control once more. Dexter has been led to believe by TV, by films, that the only upside of sickness was that it brought people closer, that there would be an opening up, an effortless understanding between them. But they have always been close, always been open, and their habitual understanding has instead been replaced by bitterness, resentment, a rage on both their parts at what is happening. Meetings that should be fond and comforting descend into bickering and recrimination. 8 hours ago, he was telling complete strangers his most intimate secrets, and now he can't talk to his mother. Something isn't right. So, I saw Large in it last week, she says. Did you? She is silent, so he's forced to add, what did you think? I think you're very good, very natural. You look very nice on the screen. As I've said before, I don't care for the program very much. Well, it's not really meant for people like you, is it? She bridles at the phrase and turns her head imperiously. What do you mean, people like me? Flustered, he continues, I mean, it's just a silly late-night program, that's all. It's post-pub. You mean I wasn't drunk enough to enjoy it? No. I'm not a prude either. I don't mind vulgarity. I just don't understand why it's suddenly necessary to humiliate people all the time. No one's humiliated, not really. It's fun. You have competitions to find Britain's ugliest girlfriend. You don't think that's humiliating? Not really, no. Asking men to send in photos of their ugly girlfriends. It's fun. The whole point is the guys love them even though they're not conventionally attractive. That's the whole point. It's fun. You keep saying fun. Are you trying to convince me or yourself? Let's just not talk about it, shall we? And do you think they find it fun, the girlfriends? I'm not gonna say that. Mom, I just introduced the bands, that's all. I just asked pop stars about their exciting new video. That's my job. It's a means to an end. But to what end, Dexter? We always raised you to believe that you can do anything you wanted. I just didn't think you'd want to do this. What do you want me to do? I don't know, something good. Abruptly, she places her hand on her chest and sits back in her chair. After a moment, he speaks. It is good, in its own terms. She sniffs. It's a silly program, just entertainment, and of course I don't like all of it, but it's an experience. It'll lead to other things, and actually I think I'm good at it. Oops. Oh. It's a silly program, just entertainment, and of course I don't like all of it, but it's an experience. It'll lead to other things, and actually I think I'm good at it for what it's worth. Plus I'm enjoying myself. She waits a moment, then says, well, you must do it then, I suppose. You must do what you enjoy, and I know you'll do other things in time. It's just, she takes his hand, without finishing the thought, then she laughs breathlessly. I still don't see why it's necessary for you to pretend to be a Cockney. It's my man of the people voice, he says, and she smiles a very slight smile, but one which he latches onto. We shouldn't argue, she says. We're not arguing, we're discussing, he says, though he knows that they are arguing. Her hand goes to her head. I'm taking this morphine. Sometimes I don't know what I'm saying. You haven't said anything. I'm a little tired myself. The sun is bouncing off the paving slabs, and he can actually feel the skin on his face and forearms burning, sizzling like a vampire. He feels another wave of perspiration and nausea coming on. Stay calm, he tells himself. It's just chemical. Late night? Quite late. Larging it, were you? A little. He rubs his temples to indicate soreness, says without thinking, Don't suppose you've got any of that morphine going spare, have you? She doesn't even bother to look at him. Time passes. Recently he has noticed idiocy creeping up on him. His resolve to keep his head on straight, his feet on the ground, is failing, and he has observed, quite objectively, that he is becoming more thoughtless, selfish, making more and more stupid remarks. He has tried to do something about this, but it almost feels out of his control now, like patterned baldness. Why not just give in and be an idiot? Stop caring. Time passes, and he notices that grass and weeds have started to push their way through the surface of the tennis court. The place is falling apart already. Eventually she speaks. I'm telling you now, your father's cooking lunch. Tinned stew, be warned. At least Cassie should be back in time for dinner. You are staying the night, I suppose? He could stay the night, he thinks. Here's an opportunity to make amends. Actually, no, he says. She half turns her head. I've got tickets for Jurassic Park tonight. The premiere, actually. Lady D is going. Not with me, I hasten to add. And as he speaks, the voice he hears is of someone he despises. I can't skip it. It's a work thing. It was arranged ages ago. His mother's eyes narrow almost imperceptibly, and in mitigation he quickly tells a lie. I'm taking Emma, you see. I'd skip it, but she really wants to go. Oh, well. And there's a silence. The life you lead, she says levelly. Silence once more. Dexter, you'll have to excuse me, but I'm afraid the morning has taken it out of me. I'm going to need to go to sleep upstairs for a while. Okay. I'm going to need some help. Anxiously he looks around for his sister or father, as if they had some kind of qualification that he doesn't possess, but they're nowhere to be seen. His mother's hands are on the arms of the chair now, straining uselessly, and he realizes that he must do this. Lightly, without conviction, he loops his arm under hers and helps her up. Do you want me to... No, I'm fine getting indoors. I just need help with the stairs. They walk across the patio, his hand touching the fabric of the blue summer dress that hangs loosely off her like a hospital gown. Her slowness is maddening, an affront to him. How is Cassie? He asks to fill the time. Oh, fine. I think she enjoys bossing me around a little too much, but she's very attentive. Eat this, take these, sleep now. Strict but fair, that's your sister. It's revenge for not buying her that pony. So if Cassie's so good at this, he wonders, where is she when she's needed? They're inside at the bottom of the staircase. He had never realized there were so many stairs. How do I... It's best if you just lift me. I'm not heavy. Not these days. I am not up to this. I am not capable. I thought I would be, but I'm not. Some part of me is missing, and I cannot do this. Does it hurt anywhere? I mean, is there anywhere I should... Don't worry about that. She removes her sun hat and settles her headscarf. He takes a firmer hold of her below her shoulder blade, the fingers of his hand aligning with the grooves of her ribs, then bends at the knee, feels the back of her legs beneath her dress against his forearm, smooth and cool, and when he thinks she is ready, he lifts, scooping her up and feeling her body loosen in his arms. She exhales deeply, and her breath is sweet and hot on his face. Either she is heavier than he expected, or he is weaker than he thought, and he bumps her shoulder against the stair post, then readjusts, turning sideways as he starts to climb the stairs. Her head rests against his shoulder, the headscarf slippery against his face. It feels like a parody of a stock situation, the husband carrying the bride over the threshold, perhaps, and several light-hearted remarks run through his head, none of which will make this any easier. As they reach the landing, she obliges instead. My hero, she says, looking up at him, and they both smile. He kicks open the door to the dark room and lays her on the bed. Can I get you anything? I'm fine. Are you due anything? Medicine or... No, I'm fine. Dry martini with a twist? Oh, yes, please. Do you want to get under the covers? Just that blanket, please. Curtains closed? Please, but leave the window open. See you later, then. Goodbye, darling. See you. He smiles tightly at her, but she is already lying on her side with her back to him, and he steps out of the room, pulling the door loosely closed. One day, quite soon, probably within the year, he will walk out of a room and never see her again, and this thought is so hard to conceive of that he shoves it away violently, concentrating instead on himself, his hangover, how tired he feels, how the pain throbs in his temples as he trots down the stairs. The large, untidy kitchen is empty, so he crosses to the fridge, which is almost empty too. A wilted celery heart, a chicken carcass, open cans and economy ham all indicate that his father has taken over the domestic duties. In the fridge door is an open bottle of white wine. He takes the bottle out and swigs from it, taking 4 or 5 gulps of the sweet liquid before he hears father's footsteps in the hall. He replaces the bottle, wipes his mouth with the back of the hand, just as his father enters, carrying 2 plastic bags from the village supermarket. "Where's your mother?" "Tired. I carried her upstairs for a lie down." Dexter wants him to know that he is brave and mature, but his father seems unimpressed. "I see. Did you chat?" "A little, just about this and that." His voice sounds strange in his own head, booming and slurred and self-conscious. Drunk. Can his father tell, he wonders? We'll talk more when she wakes up." He opens the fridge door again and pretends to see the wine for the first time. "Mind if I—" He takes it, empties the dregs into a glass, then heads out past his father. "I'm just going to be in my room for a bit." "What for?" scowls his father. "I'm looking for something. Old books." "Don't you want lunch? Little food with your wine, perhaps?" Dexter glances at the shopping bag at his father's feet, splitting from the weight of all the tins. "Maybe later," he says, already out of the room. On the landing, he notices the door of his parents' room has swung open, and silently he steps inside once again. The curtains move in the afternoon breeze, and the sunlight comes and goes on her sleeping from beneath an old blanket, the dirty soles of her feet visible, toes curled up tight. The smell that he remembers from his childhood of expensive lotions and mysterious powders has been replaced with a vegetable odor that he would rather not think about. A hospital smell has invaded his childhood home. He closes her door and pads to the bathroom. As he pees, he checks in the medicine cabinet. His father's copious sleeping pills tell of night fears, and there's an old bottle of his mother's Valium, dated March 1989, long superseded by more potent medication. He shakes out 2 of each and slips them into his wallet, then a 3rd Valium, which he swallows with water from the hand basin's tap, just to take the edge off. His old bedroom is used for storage now, and he has to squeeze past an old Chesterfield tea chest and cardboard boxes. On the walls, a few dog-eared family snapshots and his own black and white prints of shells and leaves that he took as a teenager, imperfectly fixed and fading now. Like a child sent to his room, he lies on the old double bed, hands behind his head. He had always imagined that some sort of emotional mental equipment was meant to arrive when he was 45, say, or 50, a kind of kit that would enable him to deal with the impending loss of a parent. If he were only in possession of this equipment, he would be just fine. He would be noble and selfless, wise and philosophical. Perhaps he might even have kids of his own, and would presumably possess the maturity that comes with fatherhood, the understanding of life as a process. But he isn't 45, he is 28 years old. His mother is 49. There has been some terrible mistake. The timing is out. And how can he possibly be expected to deal with this, the sight of his extraordinary mother diminishing like this? It isn't fair on him, not with so many other distractions. He is a busy young man on the edge of a successful career. Expressed in its frankest terms, he has better things to do. He feels another sudden urge to cry, but he hasn't cried for 15 years, so he puts this down to the chemicals and decides to sleep a little. He balances the glass of wine on a packing case by the side of the bed and rolls onto his side. Being a decent human being will require effort and energy. A little rest, then he will apologize and show how much he loves her. He wakes with a start and looks at his watch, then looks again. 6:26 p.m. He has slept for 6 hours, clearly impossible. But when he pulls open the curtains, the sun is starting to dip in the sky. His head still hurts, his eyes are somehow gummed shut. There's a metallic taste in his mouth, and he is parched and hungrier than he has ever been before. The glass of wine, when he reaches for it, is warm in his hand. He drinks half of it, then recoils. A fat blue bottle has found its way into the glass and buzzes against his lip. Dexter drops the glass, spilling the wine down his shirt and onto the bed. He stumbles to his feet. In the bathroom, he splashes his face. The perspiration on the shirt has gone sour, taking on an unmistakable alcoholic stench. A little queasily, he paints himself with his father's old roll-on deodorant. Downstairs, he can hear pots and pans, the babble of the radio, family sounds. Bright, be happy, be bright and happy and polite, then go. But as he passes his mother's room, he sees her sitting on the edge of the bed in profile, looking out across the fields as if she has been waiting for him. Slowly, she turns her head, but he hovers on the threshold like a child. "You've missed the whole day," she says quietly. "I overslept." "So I see. Feeling better?" "No." "Oh well, your father is a little angry with you, I'm afraid." "No change there, then." She smiles indulgently and encouraging. She smiles indulgently and, encouraged, he adds, "Everyone seems pissed off with me at the moment." "Poor little Dexter," she says, and he wonders if she is being sarcastic. "Come and sit here." She smiles, places one hand on the bed next to her. "Next to me." Obediently, he enters the room and sits so that their hips are touching. She knocks her head against his shoulder. "We're not ourselves, are we?" "I'm certainly not myself, not anymore, and you're not either. You don't seem yourself. Not as I remember you." "In what way?" "I mean, can I speak frankly?" "Do you have to?" "I think I do. It is my prerogative." "Go on, then." "I think," she lifts her head from his shoulder, "I think that you have it in you to be a fine young man. Exceptional, even. I have always thought that. Mothers are supposed to, aren't they? But I don't think you're there yet. Not yet. I think you've got some way to go, that's all." "I see." "You mustn't take this badly, but sometimes," she takes his hand in hers, rubbing the palm of it with her thumb, "sometimes I worry that you're not very nice anymore." They sit there for a while until eventually he says, "There's nothing I can say to that." "There's nothing that you have to say. Are you angry with me?" "A little, but then I'm angry with pretty much everyone these days. Everyone who isn't sick." "I'm sorry, Mum. I am so sorry." She presses her thumb into the palm of his hand. "I know you are. I'll stay tonight." "No, not tonight. You're busy. Come back and start again." He stands, holds her shoulders lightly, and presses his cheek against hers. He can hear her breathing in his ear, the warm, sweet breath. Then he walks to the door. "Thank Emma for me," she says, "for the books." "I will. Send her my love when you see her tonight." "Tonight?" "Yes, you're seeing her tonight." He remembers his lie. Yes, I will, and I'm sorry if I haven't been very good today." "Well, I suppose there's always the next time," she says and smiles. Dexter takes the stairs at a run, counting on the momentum to hold him together, but his father is in the hallway reading the local newspaper, or pretending to. Once again, it's as if he has been waiting for him, a sentry on duty, the arresting officer. "I overslept," says Dexter to his father's back. He turns a page of the newspaper. "Yes, I know." "Why didn't you wake me, Dad?" "There didn't seem much point. Also, I tend to think that I shouldn't have to." He turns another page. "You're not 14 years old, Dexter." "But it means I've got to go now." "Well, if you've got to go," the sentence peters out. He can see Cassie in the living room, also pretending to read, her face flushed with condemnation and self-righteousness. "Get out of here now. Just go, because this is all about to break." He places one hand on the hall table for his keys, but it comes up empty. "My car keys." "I've hidden them," says his father, reading the paper. Dexter can't help but laugh. "You can't hide my keys." "Well, clearly I can, because I have. Do you want to play looking for them?" "May I ask why?" he says, indignant. His father lifts his head from the paper as if sniffing the air. "Because you are drunk." In the living room, Cassie gets up from the sofa, crosses to the door, and pushes it closed. Dexter laughs, but without conviction. "No, I'm not." His father glances over his shoulder. "Dexter, I know when someone is drunk. You in particular. I've been seeing you drunk for 12 years now, remember?" "But I'm not drunk. I'm hungover, that's all." "Well, either way, you are not driving home." Again, Dexter gives a scoffing laugh and rolls his eyes in protest, but no words will come out except for a feeble, high-pitched, "Dad, I am 28 years old." On cue, his father says, "Could have fooled me," then reaches into his pocket for his own car keys, tossing them in the air and catching them in feigned joviality. "Come on, I'll give you a lift to the station." Dexter does not say goodbye to his sister. Sometimes I worry that you're not very nice. His father drives in silence, Dexter steeping in shame in the big old Jaguar. When the silence can no longer be borne, his father speaks quietly and soberly, eyes fixed on the road. You can come and get your car on Saturday when you're sober. I'm sober now, says Dexter, hearing his own voice, still whining and petulant, the voice of his 16-year-old self. For Christ's sake, he adds, redundantly. I'm not going to argue with you, Dexter. He huffs and slides down in his seat, his forehead and nose pressed against the window as the country lanes and smart houses flash by. His father, who has always abhorred all confrontation and is clearly in agony here, punches on the radio to cover the silence, and they listen to classical music. A march, banal and bombastic. They approach the train station. The car pulls into the car park, emptied now of commuters. Dexter opens the car door, places one foot on the gravel, but his father makes no gesture of goodbye, just sits and waits with the engine running, as neutral as a chauffeur, his eyes fixed on the dashboard, fingers tapping to that lunatic march. Dexter knows he should accept his chastisement and go, but pride won't let him. Okay, I'm going now, but can I just say I think you're completely overreacting to this? And suddenly there is real rage in his father's face, his teeth bared and clenched tight, his voice cracking. Do not dare to insult my intelligence or your mother's. You are a grown man now, you're not a child. Just as quickly the rage is gone, and instead he thinks his father might be about to cry. His bottom lip is trembling, one hand is gripping the wheel, the long fingers of the other hand wrapped around his eyes like a blindfold. Dexter hurriedly backs out of the car and is about to stand and close the door, when his father turns off the radio and speaks again. Dexter. Dexter stoops and looks in at his father. His eyes are wet, but his voice is steady as he says, Dexter, your mother loves you very, very much, and I do too. We always have, and we always will. I think you know that. But in whatever time your mother has left, he falters, glances down as if looking for the words, then up. Dexter, if you ever come and see your mother in this state again, I swear I will not let you into the house. I will not let you through our door. I will close the door in your face. I mean this. Dexter's mouth is open, though there are no words. Now, please go home. Dexter closes the car door, but it doesn't lock. He closes it again just as his father, flustered too, jolts forwards, then into reverse, leaving the car park at speed. Dexter stands and watches him go. The rural train station is empty. He looks along the length of the platform for the payphone, the old familiar payphone that he used as a teenager to make his plans of escape. It's 6:59 p.m. The London connection will be here in 6 minutes, but he has to make this call. At 7 p.m., Emma takes one last look in the mirror to ensure that it doesn't seem as if she has made any kind of effort. The mirror leans precariously against the wall, and she knows that it has a foreshortening Hall of Mirrors effect, but even so, she clicks her tongue at her hips, the short legs below her denim skirt. It's too warm for tights, but she can't bear the sight of her scuffed red knees, so is wearing them anyway. Her hair, newly washed and smelling of something called forest fruits, has fallen into a dew, flicked and fragrant, and she scrubs at it with her fingertips to muss it up, then uses her little finger to wipe smears of lipstick from the corner of her mouth. Her lips are very red, and she wonders if she's overdoing it. After all, nothing's likely to happen. She'll be home by 10:30. She drains the last of a large vodka and tonic, winces as it reacts metallically with the toothpaste, picks up her keys, drops them in her best handbag, and closes the door. The phone rings. She is halfway down the institutional hallway when she hears it. For one moment she contemplates running back to answer it, but she is late already, and it's probably just her mom or sister to find out how the interview went. At the end of the hall, she can hear the lift door opening. She runs to catch it, and the doors of the lift close just as the answering machine picks up. Leave your message after the beep and I'll get back to you. Hi there, Emma. It's Dexter here. What was I going to say? Well, I was going to say I'm at this train station near home and I've just come from Mom's and I wondered what you were doing tonight. I have tickets for the Jurassic Park premiere. Actually, we've missed that, I think, but maybe the party afterwards? Me and you? Princess Di will be there. Sorry, I'm waffling. In case you're there, pick up the phone, Emma. Pick up. Pick up. No? Okay, well, I've just remembered you have your date tonight, don't you? Your hot date. Well, have fun. Call me when you get in, if you get in. Let me know what happened. Seriously, call me soon as you can. He stumbles, catches his breath, then says, just an unbelievably shitty day, Em, and falters again. I've just done something so bad. He should hang up, but he doesn't want to. He wants to see Emma Morley so that he might confess his sins. But she's on a date. He pulls his mouth into a grin and says, I'll call you tomorrow. I want to know everything. Heartbreaker, you. He hangs up. Heartbreaker, you. The rails are clicking now, and he can hear the hum of the train approaching, but he can't get on board. Not in this state. He'll just have to wait for the next one. The London train arrives and seems to be waiting for him, ticking politely. But Dexter stands shielded by the plastic carapace of the payphone booth, feels his face crumple inwards, and his breath become broken and jagged. And as he starts to cry, he tells himself that it's just chemical. The end. Thank you for listening. Can we just... That was very extra long. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. When did I start this? Hold on. Oh my goodness, that was such a long chapter. Okay, it just kept going. You know, when you... I always forget to check how many pages it's gonna be before I start. And it's like excitement and dread when you go to turn the page to see if it's like the end or not. Anyway, that was a really good chapter. Really sad. I was really worried it was gonna make me cry. That's really good. Yeah. That was good. I love this book. Sergio. Wait, Captain Planet. Okay. What'd you say? What's up, Sunny? You look like fire with the red lipstick. What's wrong with your girl? It's like a compliment. Thank you. But what's wrong with you, girl? Is there something wrong? It's just different. No, honestly, I got, I don't know. I don't wear makeup. And then I got this really cheap lip gloss, and I was like, let me just see what it looks like. That's literally it. I just was like testing it out. I like it. And it's like, it's going pretty strong. We've been on this for an hour. It's looking pretty good. And it doesn't get on my teeth. Right? Am I right? Unless I'm blind. Anyway. Yeah, this is why I really try not to like let myself read the comments while I'm currently reading, because I read that and I was like, what does he mean? He will walk. Oh, stop it. That's what you meant? That's so nice. Thank you. It does feel very fancy. I never do red. I firmly believe red looks good on everyone though. It's just one of those like, it will always work colors, but it's like so bold. I never wear red. But what's wrong? I'm still stuck on what's wrong with you. There's nothing wrong. I just had a long day. That was a long dang chapter, dude. It's like I was going real good. I was going strong. Hadn't stuttered in a while. And then, how many chapters? I wonder what my limit is before I start, like, just... Like, reading out loud is so fun for me, but it's also... I don't know if it's my... Dang, that was a long chapter. That's a whole fraction of the book, dude. Look at how thick that boy is. Whoa! What's wrong with you meant... Oh, too hot for us. Thanks. No, I'm wondering what my limit is before I start getting, like, out of breath, like, tired, that I start, like, stuttering and stuff. You're cute. No, I'm just wondering, because I'm Maybe I just can't talk at all now. Okay. I have been doing a lot better with, like, not getting caught up in my words and reading too fast, right? So I was doing really good. I wonder if it's like page 10, that's when I start getting out of breath. I don't know. But regardless, that was a good chapter. That was a lot more from Dexter's perspective. It was cool. Emma's is harder because she's so smart. And they're English, or I don't know, they're in Europe. So there's like certain things that they say differently that I'm like, huh? Like, huh? Like this book, I thought Wind in the Willows was gonna have more of that. It doesn't. That's stuff I'm familiar with. This is like, I don't know, a lot of things. And I don't, it's like, after a while of, like, say I hit like 7 words I just don't know how to say. The 8th word I like break character and I'm like, how would you guys say this? I like interrupt the chapter to be like, is it Lager or Lager or Jaeger? I have no idea. I don't drink. I don't know. It's okay to get tired. Thank goodness I don't sound like that. No, I definitely sound like a real person. But you're right. It's okay. I'm not like hard on myself. That was a long freaking chapter, dude. But what time is it? Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was long. It's usually like 30 or 40 minutes of a chapter and then we talk, but have you noticed what? It's like a pandemic. Oh yeah. For sure. I had a phone call and I'll always find this baffling. I had a phone call where the girl was clearly not a real person and I don't know what they were trying to sell me. I need this on. I'm cold. Anyway, I don't know what they were trying to sell, but it was like clearly fake, not a real person, but they tried to add like tone to her voice, and like she like asks you a question and then pauses and waits like you answered and then talks like you answered the question, and like it's just so fake. But it was like they were trying to convince me she was real, and it was like not convincing at all, guys. Like it's great you added tone and stuff, but she still has a very robotic sounding voice. I just think it's so funny. But yeah, no, they're everywhere. I'm sorry. Yeah. This is so stale, but I hate AI. It's the worst. I don't even know. Is there anything that AI has, like, helped with that was actually helpful? Other than, I do think ChatGPT is cool. I've never looked into if it's, like, ethical to use or not, so don't quote me on that, because I'll stop using it if I should. But, like, other than that, which is helpful, ChatGPT I use when I have technical issues that Google and YouTube isn't able to help me with, apparently. They can always help, but true. That's very true. I am authentic. I am real. I think it's so funny when people see me sitting and talking in a video and still comment, "Are you real?" And I'm like interacting with the comments and talking to you, and it's just funny. I'm like, no, I don't exist. I'm not real. I don't know. How do you respond to that? If I wasn't real, what would I say to that question? This guy's asking too many questions. I don't even know. Chat is a tool, can't replace someone's mind. Yeah. Okay, yeah, true. When it's AI, that's like, look, this AI made some art. That's just Photoshop, and it's really done. It's really badly done. No offense, but no one actually made that. Okay, you can tell. And yeah, I don't know, when it's like, oh my gosh, have you seen like the AI content creators, like music artists that are AI, and they talk about them like they're real, and they just released this single, and the single is like super like edgy or sad or emotional, and it's like, it's not a real person though. And it's funny, I don't know, it's like they're trying to like humanize it. I don't know, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not gonna sympathize with this. It's not a real thing. Like, that's not a person. You're right, basically. They can't replace someone's mind or heart or emotions with something like that. It's just not gonna work. AI art is like chewing plastic. Yeah, it's really hard to look at. And it's always so like, because I love art that's like super vibrant and colorful and stuff like that, and I think they always use that to attract, I guess, which would work on me, except that it always looks so wrong. There's always like something wrong going on, even if the hands aren't messed up like they always are, it would still look wrong. There's like something very fake, like a over the whole thing. It's like a lens or a film over the whole thing that just makes it look fake. And I can't explain it in words, but you know when you see it. It's like, oh yeah, that's AI. I don't know. I don't know the right word. It's not unsettling. It's just not genuine. I don't get any genuine feelings from something when it's AI. But, yeah. How are those? They're water-based. Those look amazing. Water-based? You mean watercolor paints? Or do you mean when the painting itself is like something of like an underwater scene? You could mean so many things right now. Do you mean like the type of paint that they use, or what the painting is of? Watercolor. Yes, yes, yes. It's so nice. It's so like, ooh, I wish I had some. Hold on. So I have my mother and two of my sisters paint with watercolors, and they're all three are so incredible at it. This is like the tiniest example, but this is a bookmark my mother made me. Little bunnies. She's so good at it. And it's, yeah, I love watercolor. I wish I could get into it, but I like acrylic more. I don't like watercolor. It's so hard to control, which is why, like, when you see like a beautiful landscape painting that was done by watercolor, that's so impressive to me. It's the hardest paint to work with in my experience so far. But yes, for real, you have to like, I don't know, you have to like gauge the right amount of water to use. That changes everything. Oh my gosh, like drastically. So yeah, they all three got so good at it. I wish I could show you. All the art that I have by my other sister is at my office, so I can't show you. But if you're in my Discord, I'll post it, because she's incredible. She painted me this flower for Christmas. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. But, yeah. No, watercolor paintings are So beautiful. They're like a mix between like what's the word? I'm thinking of a word and it's not coming to me, so I'm just gonna say something like they're like relaxing, soothing, right? Like you can still get detail in there, but it's just very soft. Soft is a good word, yes, yes. Yeah, it gets sucked up. I mean, any dry paper will absorb it really fast. Yeah. Yeah, I love watercolors. Like to look at. I can't work with them. I will, the most I do is like this one I did, okay. This has like a watercolor background or base to it. So it's okay, because I end up just covering the whole thing in dots anyway. So it's okay if I like, quote unquote, make a mistake with the watercolor process, because you don't end up even seeing the details with the watercolor part. That is all I do with watercolor. And then I end up just taking acrylic and like covering it in dots anyway. So that's me, because if I actually tried to sit down and paint like a specific picture with watercolors, that's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work. It's so hard. But I don't know, like they all three started using this like specific type of brush, and I'm just gonna try and explain it. Okay, you can open the brush and put water in it, so whenever you need more water added to your painting, you just squeeze the brush, basically, which is awesome. And apparently, well, I don't know if they said, no, they have. Pretty sure they said that that specific tool makes the control part of watercolor so much easier. So I'd be down to get one for myself and try it. I don't know how I'm gonna feel. I'm very like OCD about every little detail, so painting is very hard for me. I mostly paint like pictures like this with really like vibrant, solid paint, so no water involved. So if you see early Pokemon art, I didn't know that, really. Wait, hold on. I want to look it up. Dude, that's not what I meant to do though. Stay. Sorry. Okay. Early. What do you say? Oops. I just want to see what you're talking about. Wait. That's so cute and pretty. I love that. Oh, that's cute too. Okay. That's adorable. I mean, and really, like, awesome. It's so colorful. I love Pokemon. They're so cute. All the little Pokemon that I've ever seen. Even when he's, like, suited up with this, like, heavy-duty weaponry. He's so cute. Oh, that one's cute. That's cool. I wish I was, like, raised. No, not raised. I wish I, like, grew up on Pokemon, so it was more, like, nostalgic for me. But, and so, like, I know about it. I don't know anything about Pokemon, because I never, actually, I don't think I was allowed to know anything about it for a while. So, I just never really, like, tried to get into it as an adult. So, but I'm pretty sure if I had grown up on it, I'd absolutely love it. All the little, I guess they're called Pokemon. All the little guys, they're so cute. That one's got a heart on his chest. That's so cute. But anyway. Watercolor. Yeah, same. For sure. No doubt. I don't know. I don't really have like a desire to get into it, but I super respect people that are good at it, or even try to get into it. I respect you. It's daunting. I was trying to think. Sorry, I'm looking at all the art around my room. Okay, I don't have any watercolor. Never mind. I will post my sister's paintings on the Discord if you want. Saucy, my darling. How are you? You missed the chapter. It was a good chapter, but it was really long. And I'm kind of out of breath now. But we were talking about AI. How are you? I love seeing your name pop up on my screen every time. I swear. I don't know if y'all have noticed. Thank you. So I was just about to say, I don't think y'all, nope. English isn't working for me today. I did pretty good on the chapter, but like, I had like the longest day at work, and I like stopped being able to respond to an email because I think my brain died for a minute. And then I got home, and I did manage to do the whole chapter, but wow, talking is hard today, apparently. Sorry, I was gonna say, thank you. I don't know if y'all have noticed yet, this is our 8th read aloud? Wait, 28. I'm gonna make sure on that. 28th read aloud. Let's go, we're almost at 30. And I started just wearing, it doesn't really matter what I wear, but I started wearing like stuff that I wear to work for the read alouds. Like I do like the full jewelry and I don't know. Yeah, this is like the type of stuff I wear to work. And then for our gaming streams, I just wear whatever I wear around the house to be comfortable. So not that I don't want to be comfortable during the read aloud, I just know if I'm comfortable with the gaming streams, I'll stay on longer. And I just have to stay on for the chapter to finish for the read aloud. So really fancy. Ow! Yeah. So thank you. This is like a normal fit I would wear to work. But I was telling Sergio I got this like lip gloss and I just wanted to test it out and see how it looks because I don't wear I don't wear makeup ever, so I just wanted to see what it looked like on me. It's been a while. He was like something, I don't remember what you said. Walk into a building and people will ask for autographs. Heck yeah. As Patrick always says, gotta rise your pinky finger to be fancy. True! So true. Mine does that naturally. Thank you. Thanks though. Yeah. That's the backstory to that. I don't know why I feel like I have to explain myself for looking fancy today. I just felt like it. Sometimes it just feels good to be fancy. When you don't feel fancy. The lip gloss. Thanks. It's a lot easier than lipstick, I'll say that. It doesn't get on your teeth. Lipstick getting on your teeth might be the worst. I'm trying not to use that term lightly. I think it's the worst. I hate it. Thank you. This is nice. Because my smile, my lips like to just slide all across my front teeth. So if I have lipstick on, it always gets on my teeth. Just for smiling. And I think we've tried. Haven't we? I feel like we had a moment one time on stream where I tried not to smile as long as I could, and I can't not smile. It's really, really hard for me. So, even by myself, I'll like think of something. I catch myself laughing by myself all the time, actually. And I'll be like, was it that funny? It always is. I laugh very... It's like no, okay, this is like a whole thing, actually. I laugh really easily for some things. Okay, I'm just explaining having a sense of humor. No. The way that my son? I'm not your son. What you talking about? No. The way that my sense of humor is, it's very like unpredictable, and I think it's stupid. Like I will laugh my ass off for the dumbest thing. But then something that I actually, in my mind, I'm like, that was really funny. I didn't physically laugh at it. And because I'm so... Oh, you meant Sunny. What's up? That's me. No, but because I'm so empathetic... Oh my gosh, I especially do this with my mom, and she has no idea. She'll say something that I can tell she was hoping someone would laugh at, right? Like everybody does. And I, like, with all my heart, want to laugh, genuinely, at what she said. And I'll even, like, she's funny. She'll say stuff that I find funny, but I don't laugh. So I think the point that I'm trying to make is that, like, it's really hard to physically make me, like, actually laugh. It's not hard for me to find something funny, but it's hard for me to laugh at something. So, but sometimes it's so unpredictable that I laughed so hard the other day at this meme that my friend showed me. It's still funny. I think it's funny. It's like the dumbest meme. Wait. Your smile? Your smile is pretty good. Your rambling gets me every time. We made a mistake when writing. We're not AI. That's funny. No. I am rambling. I'm sorry. I don't care. It's just that, like, he showed me this meme. It's the dumbest freaking meme ever. And I still think on it and laugh about it. But, like... Join my Discord. I'll post it and y'all can make fun of me for laughing. I laughed so hard when I tell you. The second I read it, I laughed. Like, I laughed really, really hard and loud. Like, it was like, it came from like the deepest part of my stomach type laugh. I haven't laughed like that in so long, and it was to this stupid meme. I wish I could laugh genuinely to stuff that, like, people say, like, people that I like when my mom says something that she finds funny. I wish I could laugh and make her feel like, yeah, that was funny. But, like, all I can manage is like a that's funny. And I feel so bad about it when you tell drunk tales is awesome. What? Wait. When you tell drunk tales, what do you mean? Did I tell you? Wait, hold on. I've never gotten drunk with y'all, right? Are you talking about, like, did I tell you about a time when I was drunk? I really want to know. I don't remember this. No, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I just think the best I can do is, like, when I find something funny, I say that's funny. I don't actually laugh. And I feel like that makes me a lame person to other people, because they'll say something genuinely funny that I actually found funny, but I don't laugh. And I think they think I'm just saying that's funny to make them feel better for not laughing, but I actually meant it when I said that's funny. Yeah. I want to know what drunk story I told you. I don't get drunk very much, ever. What story? What? Do you remember any of the details? I'm so curious. That was that whole concept that I wanted to explain. Anyway, if you're part of my Discord, I will post the meme that made me laugh so hard, and then you can make fun of me. I just wish I could control laughing. No, that's no fun. You don't want to control that. But I wish I could actually laugh when I thought something was funny, instead of like, nice. You told a few. Hold on. Sorry, I was like, okay. You got. Why would I want to take a break? Anyway, okay, I mean, I know the one with my boss. That was funny. I love my boss. They're great. I have 2 bosses. When I got promoted, they said, now he's your boss, but you can still come to me if you want to. So I think I have 2 bosses, but this one is like who I should go to. I love both of them. Anyway, really funny actually. I don't know, we had like a company-wide work event, right? Yeah, it was like after work with open bar and a dinner. It was literally for the entire company to meet each other. So everyone like from other states came in for this event, you know, and I got to meet like all 250 employees of the company or something, and we all got to drink and hang out, and I got a little too, I don't drink, you feel me? I only had like 2 drinks. But I ended up sitting for like to eat dinner. I sat next to my boss, and I'm like kind of tipsy, and we're just having a conversation, and I'm just like, dear God, don't let him notice that I'm drunk and my face is red, and I don't even drink. If I drinked, I would probably have more friends. Why do you think that? Although I don't really have friends and I don't drink. Is this guy onto something? No, but I don't believe that. I don't know. Yeah, dude, that was the most crowded it was one little restaurant that we all packed into, and we're all drinking, and it was like, why do they always insist on having the music so freaking loud that like the point of the event is for us to meet and get to know each other, but you don't want us to hear each other, so we're drinking and we're forced to shout while we're eating. It was really crowded. Yeah, it was a lot of people, but it was really fun. And I wish I had brought a different outfit. I ended up just wearing what I wore to work that day, and everybody else like changed. So that was kind of a missed opportunity. I could have like shown up looking way better, but I think I made some good impressions on people, so it's okay. And I got promoted. But we're cool. We're chilling. My policy is not drinking at work events. Everyone was drinking. They wanted us to drink. It's not my fault. No. That's probably a good rule for me to have too, because I'm such a lightweight, but I'm also like, just a touch socially anxious. Okay, just a touch. I'm like a walking contradiction because I'm a huge people person. I love people. I'm very extroverted. Love conversations with people, for real. But I also, like, empathize involuntarily with everyone. And I read body language. I read people really well. Because I'm such a people person, that if I can sense that anyone is even a touch uncomfortable, I get uncomfortable. So I feel what people feel, too, on top of being extroverted. So, like, if someone's introverted that I'm talking to, I'm gonna start feeling introverted. And I don't know if that's the right word to use, but just kind of like, yeah, on edge, uncomfortable, awkward. If anyone feels like that, I start feeling the same way. So I was thinking it wouldn't be bad to have like a drink or two and get the edge off and, you know, be more myself with everyone there. It was so crowded. But anyway, it was really fun. They do that every year, so I'm excited for next year. People always inviting me to drink, but when I tell them to come to play basketball, they say no. Yeah, I know, that's why I don't do it. You end up dancing and stuff. That's exactly what I did. That's why it's fun. That's like, I want to be, okay. I'm gonna say this and it might sound bad. I am not a toxic drunk, okay? It's almost just like being like a little, like I don't want to be drunk. Being a little on the intoxicated side just kind of takes the edge off. It just like removes my any part of me that's anxious. So I feel like it's like making way for like my true self, which sounds so bad. That sounds really bad. I never drink, but I just know that like if I wasn't anxious, like back in the day, years ago, I used to not be anxious and I didn't care about like dancing in front of anyone or like how anyone perceived me or any of that, right? And this is like years ago. And then, you know, stuff happens and you go through stuff and it causes you to have anxiety, and that's my personal experience with things. So I feel like when that anxiety is removed, that's who I truly am, because I used to not have that struggle, right? So it's almost like this is why I don't like to drink, because I don't want to feel bad about who I am now. But it's almost like when I do drink, I get to be my actual self without like being anxious about the people around me. So yeah, that night I got a little tipsy and we went out dancing and it was really fun. I loved it. It was a good night. Also, it's okay if you don't want to go out and drink with people. That's totally cool. I would much rather stay inside and have people like come hang out with me and we do something more private than like going out to a bar and spending way too much money on overpriced drinks and not having anything to do other than drink and talk. I don't know, like that might sound kind of boring. I don't really know what there is to do. Like going out to play basketball sounds like so much more fun than going out to just drink. You know? I don't know. But I'm sorry they say no. It's okay though if you don't really feel like going out. That doesn't mean you can't have friends. I don't think drinking socially is the only way to make friends. That's what I mean. What? Wait. I always picture me like Elaine from Seinfeld. You picture yourself as Elaine from Seinfeld? You must be fun to have around, honestly. I don't know. I feel like I could either be fun or like really annoying. But I am really conscious of the way I'm behaving and I'm like really scared of being annoying, so I don't think I'm annoying because it's like I feel like people that don't have any self-awareness are the really annoying ones. And I like strive to be as self-aware as possible. So, I don't know. Like yeah. Before I like get up and do what I want to do, I like check the people around me first and see how they're feeling. So I feel like I'm not annoying. No. I don't know if I'm fun though. But I think my word is just, I'm just a nice person. I'm just nice. Fun, maybe sometimes, but I'm nice. So, maybe I'm nice to have around. I don't know. I'm like the mom. If you need a tissue, or a piece of gum, or a ride, that's me. You need some water? You need some crackers? I got it. That's me. So I'm probably nice to have around. I don't know. Beer has a reputation for bringing people's real persona. I hate beer, so to speak. Only good thing about beer is that some people look so happy when tipsy. It's so gross. I hate beer. Beer does this thing in my chest. It's like a buildup. It's like a acid reflux kind of. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it so much. I'd rather just not. If all there is to drink is beer, I don't know actually. It depends on the night. I might say yes, but ugh. My craziest nights are more about hang out and talk about memes and stuff. Yeah. Check Elaine dance. I feel like that when I'm drunk and dancing. Oh, okay, I get it. You meant specifically drunk and dancing, Elaine? That's funny. Yeah, probably me too. I don't want to know. If someone ever videoed me drunk dancing, I think I would never step outside of my house again. That's just what I'm imagining. Like, I don't want to know what I look like. Yes, bruh. How'd you know I was gonna say wine? I feel like saying that I'd prefer wine over any other drink, I feel like that makes me sound really trashy. Like a really messed up white girl. Or like a single mom. Oh, no offense. I'm sorry. All the respect to all mothers. But wine is great. I'm just objectively like, especially if you're gonna choose wine or beer, oh my gosh, go with the wine. It's so much better. And you can drink it with your pinky up. That's so true. You can do anything with your pinky up, but true. I've seen grumpy people get happy with beer. Oh yeah, that's my ex-boyfriend. No. Or they get really sobby. They either get grumpy, no, they either go from grumpy to happy, or they go from okay to just crying about everything. And I'm definitely talking about myself sometimes. It depends on the night. But yeah, no, yeah. Fancy all the way. For sure, Fancy Nancy. Did you ever read Fancy Nancy? It's just an illustrated. It's a kid's. Sorry, I'm sorry. I have a lot of younger siblings. My sister was obsessed with Fancy Nancy. But wine is better for a multitude of reasons. Okay. They both taste gross, actually. Yeah. But it doesn't fill you up the way beer, like if I drink 3 beers, I don't want dinner now. It like fills you up. I hate that. No acid reflux with wine. Gets you drunk. Okay, if you're trying to get drunk, let's just say it takes the edge off faster. I don't have to drink 5 glasses of wine to feel something. It's literally 1 glass, depending on the percentage, and you're chillin'. I don't want to have to like chug alcohol to feel the effects of alcohol. I love that you can just sip it. And after 1 glass, you're like, I'm actually feeling okay. I don't even know if I need a 2nd glass. So, I don't know. Like, no, not specifically single moms. I think it's like, there's a specific genre of mothers that are like wine moms. And It's not a good thing. It's where, like, no matter what time in the day, they're always like, they always have their glass of wine. Or they're like carrying the bottle around with them. It's really bad. I didn't want y'all to think I'm gonna, like, okay, so when I used to drink wine a lot, I don't drink anymore, but back in the day, I used to drink all the time. My siblings would say, are you gonna end up, like, being a wine mom? And I'm like, I hope not. I have never been a fan of beer either. Yeah, it's like, does it even have a flavor? Did they even try to give it a flavor, or did they just say, like, no, I don't even know. It doesn't have a flavor. The flavor is gross. That's what it is. I wish it was flavorless, but it's just gross flavored. And it's like, what is it? It's like yeasty. Is that why it fills up, makes you feel like you're full? Because it's like yeasty? Ugh. No. Okay? No. And also, wine, I don't want to say it's healthy for you. It's better for you than beer. That's all I know. Like, I feel like a glass of wine, not every night. What is it? A glass of wine before bed is, like, not... It's not encouraged, but it's also not, like, frowned upon either. Right? I don't remember. Once you pee while drinking beer, you won't stop. That's so true. Another reason, I also just pee a lot, though. That's just... I have, like, the weakest kidneys, or bladder, or whatever. Another reason I don't drink is because some people fall asleep so quick. That's true, and waking up, like, it's not a good idea to go to bed drunk, or, I mean, even feeling the effects, actually. If you go to sleep impaired, you're gonna wake up feeling like crap. I hate that. Like, if I ever drink with someone, it needs to be someone that's gonna, like, keep me awake until I'm sober again, and then I can go to sleep. A glass a day? That's dangerous. Oh my gosh. But, I mean, isn't that a thing? Wasn't that like I don't know if that's like an old-fashioned thing, but I feel like people did have, like, a glass of wine before bed. Wasn't it, like, good for the heart or something? I can't remember now, but I don't know if it was necessarily, like, recommended by doctors, but that was a thing people did. I don't know. I don't know, but this is a fun little hangout post-chapter. This chapter was good. Oh, I wonder if we come back to the next chapter and his mom's dead. No? Oh no, the next chapter is the same night, but her perspective this time. Yeah, so this chapter, if you missed it, his mom is very sick, and they haven't really said from what, just that, like, with her condition, she's deteriorated a lot more recently, and he had to, like, she's too weak to, like, go up the stairs by herself, and stuff like that. I'll have to check it out. Oh. Next stream with a glass of wine. Then I'll really start stuttering over the words. No. But, yeah. No, if you missed the chapter, or the last, what was the 6 chapters of this book? Are we on chapter 7? Yeah. If you missed chapters 1 through 6, they are posted on my channel if you want to go back and hear them. This book is absolutely incredible. I love it. A lot. And if you want to super, I don't know words, bypass everything, they came out with a show for this book on Netflix. that was also massively incredible. Oh my gosh, it's a masterpiece. This whole story, like, the book is so good so far, I love it, and the show was like, it's one of my favorite shows. I think it's got like a special place in my heart. Anyway, so if you did miss the book, want to know what's happening, you can go back and listen to that, or you can just go watch the show. And then tell me, Sunny, you've seen the show, you know how it ends, why would you want to read this book and put us through the same tragedy? And to that I say, we will suffer together. It's awful. No, it's beautiful. It's really good. It's called One Day. One Day. And I think I put the author's name in the caption, but it's David Nicholls. One Day. The back says you can live your whole life not realizing that what you're looking for is right in front of you. Emma and Dexter meet on the night of their graduation. Tomorrow they must go their separate ways. So where will they be on this one day next year, and the year after that, and every year that follows? That's what it's about. And I'm not telling you. Have you read? No. Oh, the Netflix sneak peek is awesome, but that bittersweet feeling. Yeah, it's very bittersweet. I think that's kind of like why I love it. I love things that are like real feeling, like not everything's perfect and happy feeling all the time. So this has that, but it also has the real like reminders that like life is sad and people disappoint you and things like that. Even the people that you care the most about will disappoint you at some times. And you'll disappoint yourself. And it's really good. I think that statement you just read is so strong. Yeah, I love it. In Spanish is 100. Oh, no, I haven't read 100 Years of Solitude, but I think you told me about it, or someone did tell me about it, and it sounded interesting. They did do a Great Expectations quote at the beginning of this one, because it's part 2 of the book, and it says, I really like this, we spent as much money as we could and got as little for it as people could make up their minds to give us. We were always more or less miserable, and most of our acquaintance were in the same condition. There was a gay fiction among us that we were constantly enjoying ourselves, and a skeleton truth that we never did. To the best of my belief, our case was in the last aspect a rather common one. I really like that. Really sad, but real. Anyway, some Metroid stream. Yeah, I remember someone mentioning that, so that was probably you. Well, talking of, I do need to go eat dinner, but speaking of Metroid and junk, the plan is, don't tell me, tomorrow I'm gonna do a Metroid stream. And then Thursday, I want to do a movie, another movie. So if you missed it, I don't remember when that was, but a few weeks ago, we did a movie night, and if you both are on Discord, damn, I'm sorry, I know Saucy's on my Discord, I can't remember, I know Sergio is. Sergio, are you one of the ones that are like, I don't do Discord? I can't remember. Either way, the movie nights that we do are like just for Discord people. Like we do it on Discord. So the plan for this week is tomorrow gaming stream, and then I'm still trying to decide on what movie we're gonna watch, but movie night will be Thursday night on Discord. Cool. Yay. Oh. Oh, what? Yes. But hardly ever comment. You do Discord. Okay, cool. Well, if you want to be on our movie night and, like, enjoy the movie with us, we just kind of, we tune in to the audio channel, and I share my screen so you can watch the movie, and we can, like, talk during it, or we can mute ourselves and just watch together, and it's really fun. But yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. But yeah, if you want to join us for that would be... I'm doing Thursday night this week. And I'm trying to decide on the movie. I definitely want it to be something animated. What? Wait, what is it? Tell me. I definitely want it to be animated, though, I think. Well, I'll probably stick with animated stuff for a bit. Probably. Unless we do something like Hook or something awesome like that. If we do Hook, I'm gonna cry. Can you do that in Discord? Yeah. Yeah. What you mean? Saucy, what? Oh, Sunny. This aged great is so much fun. Cool. Just say it, man. What are you trying to say? You got me on the edge of my seat right now. No. Can you do that in Discord? Can I do what in Discord? We're doing the movie night? What? Anyway, while you guys figure out what you're trying to say to me, I was thinking last time we did Prince of Egypt, because it's... Whoa. This aged great. The channel is called This Aged Great. Okay. I did not know you could talk in Discord. Yes. Wait, so is it a channel that you're trying to have me check out? Or... Oh, okay. Is it a YouTube channel? Or... This aged great. Okay. Hang on. Let me just make sure I can find it really fast. Okay. Cool. Okay, cool. I'll go watch some of their videos while I eat dinner. and I'll let you know. But yeah, you can talk in Discord. We have like a general audio channel, right? Ooh, movie reviews. Okay, cool. Cool. I'll probably like it. Word. I'll let you know. But yeah, there's a audio, like a general audio channel. So if I go into the audio channel and like go live, you can hop in there and we could just talk, like just our voices, right? And you can have a camera on, but I never do. And then I can share my screen so we can just watch the movie in there and talk. And it's really fun. We did it once, and now we're doing it again this week, and I need to decide on the dang movie we're gonna watch. But it's either Aardman, like the Wallace and Gromit people. They made a movie called Pirates: The Band of Misfits. I either want to watch that or Fievel Goes West, because I've wanted to watch that for a while. Or maybe Treasure Planet. But I'm trying to decide, and I feel like I'm missing an option. Oh, you know what we need to watch? No, we don't. I need to rewatch Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, because I grew up on it and I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Did you guys ever watch that? It's so freaking good. Discord to me displays channels and people comment, and I thought that was it. I thought that was it too until somebody had this movie night idea, and I love it. So, if you're in my Discord on Thursday night, I will post you know, when I'm going live and where to go to join the movie night. I got you. Yeah, I just found out about it too. It's pretty cool. It's like the same thing people use Discord for when they're like playing a game with people so they can hear each other, right? Unless you can just hear each other through the game. But I know people use Discord to like play games together. I don't know. Ha! Treasure Island. Lit over my head. Is Treasure Island the vote? Oh, we could have a vote. Ooh. If you actually think people would interact on my Discord, I'm down to do like a poll of like what movie should we watch? Yes. Okay, I'm down. Let's do that. So like probably those 3 options. What was I thinking? Yeah, so we're doing, I've literally said the same thing 4 times I feel like in a row. So, yeah, glad y'all like the lip, because it's never coming back. No, I like it. It's really nice. It feels like I'm not wearing anything on my lips, I mean. So I might do it again. We'll see. I don't know. It feels weird, because I never have anything on. I actually have lips right now. This is what my lips look like. And I don't do that, like, making your lips look bigger bullshit. I actually just color in my actual lips. But do you play multiplayer? I don't currently. I'd be open to it. I just don't know what games there are that are fun to play with other people. Because I don't do Call of Duty or Fortnite or any of that, so. But I'd be open to it. It could be fun. We just have to like figure that out. I don't know. But yeah. It could be fun. But okay, cool. Alright, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna go eat dinner. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was like a way longer stream than normal, but I'm hungry. So, I will see you guys. I hope I see you guys tomorrow for my gaming. And if not, I hope I get to hang out with you guys and hear your actual voices. If you want, on Thursday. That'd be cool. That was cool. When we did Prince of Egypt, we had like me and 3 other people watching the movie. And I got to actually like talk to people. It was really cool. So, that'd be cool. No pressure. But I'd love to see you guys. So, thanks for hanging out with me. I love you guys. Yeah. I guess that's all. Good night. Mwah. Stay safe. I can't find, my mouse doesn't work.